In this video, I want to show you a plugin that allows you to add multiple currency support to your WooCommerce store. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of plugins that only do currency. I like to do a full multi-language, multi-currency setup for the sites I build with my clients. But if you've got limited budget and can't afford the translation part of the project, going for just currency is a really good step. So people from perhaps you in the UK trying to sell to the EU, customer being able to see the price in their local currency, the euro, is a really good thing to do, and it increases conversions. So the plugin I'm going to demonstrate is called Curcy, C-U-R-C-Y. It's like currency without any E's in it. And it is fairly lightweight. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a freemium plugin. You can download the free version from WordPress.org, and the pro version is available from Code Canyon. Costs $34, so not hugely expensive. Like I say, it's a good lightweight solution to your multi-currency support problem. So quick chat about supporting multiple currencies. Look to your payment provider. Not everyone will support multiple currencies in one session. Stripe's good, PayPal's good, so the big ones all support this kind of support. Support this kind of support, that doesn't make sense. Support this kind of multiple currency setup. So let's dig into the free version of the plugin, show you what it can do and what its limitations are. I've also got a pro version, so I'll activate that and I'll show you the pro version's additional features as well. So once you've installed it, you get this multi-currency menu item. So go to multi-currency. And obviously the first thing to do is enable it. We've got a currency price switcher, which is displayed as a floating menu bar. You can choose to show it, not show it. You can have flags, and currency code. Some pro features to use session and switch currency using JS. I'm not using either of those, to be honest. So let's look at adding a currency. I've added euros in here. The free version only allows you to support two currencies, so it's great if you go in the UK into the Eurozone, but if you want to go further, like into the US, Australia, other currencies, you'll need the pro version to have more than one currency. So you drop in the currency, you can control where the currency symbol is displayed. So perhaps you want it on the right for some reason. Set the exchange rate, that's today's current exchange rate. If you want a fee, so perhaps you get charged a fee for selling in a new currency, so perhaps you have to pay 50 cents or something like that for every euro transaction from your payment provider. You can do that, and you can set up the currency symbols. I've just gone with the default there. Then you can decide to have some auto select. Let's auto select the currency. From the WooCommerce API, we can have a currency by country. So for example, you only want to sell in GBP to the United Kingdom, but the euro want to sell to France, Germany, etc. I'll not fill in the whole Eurozone, but what that's going to do is, if a site visitor comes from France, it's going to auto select euros. Comes from Germany, auto select euros, GBP. It'll select pound sterling. Anyone outside of this list, it goes to the default currency, which is GBP on my site, like that. Check out, we can enable some additional features in the pro version on the checkout and the cart. Design, we can set the title. Let's just have it as currency. Select the colors, select the positioning, all that good stuff. We also have some short codes that we can drop in this currency converter wherever we want. I'll come back to that a little bit later on. So let's just save that. One nice little feature is the ability to set the prices manually. So rather than do a calculation, you can manually set prices. So perhaps you're going to take into account the difficulty of shipping to Eurozone, or the packaging, or the cost of doing imports, duties, that kind of stuff. So you can change the price and set it manually. So if I look at a product now, I'll set the regular price to £199, and then I'll set the euros to, I don't know, 250, which is more than the 1.2 calculation. So let's look at a product and see what the front end looks like now. So what we get is this little language currency selector, which floats on our site like that. And then we can just flip to euros, and it then flips our price to be in euros. If we add to cart, view that cart, and proceed to the checkout, you can see that everything is in euros now. Let's place that order. So this is going to my Stripe account, to my development Stripe account. So that has checked out in euros. Let me pause for a moment and I'll open my Stripe account. And as you can see in my test account, it's processed that as in euros. I've also processed stuff in US dollars and pounds sterlings. So Stripe is perfectly compatible and is happy to accept payments in whatever currency you send its way. Just a word of warning, you might be charged transaction fees and exchange rates when you withdraw this to your bank account. So I get charged a fee for every dollar transaction that's paid out of Stripe into my bank account. You can look at services such as Revolut, which you can hold a bank account in a particular currency and you don't get charged those kind of fees. So just something to be aware of and look into. So that's the Stripe. Show how Stripe is compatible with Curcy. So some of the negatives on this particular plugin: it doesn't have a native navigation drop down that you can easily add. There are a series of shortcodes which you can drop in. So there's plugins to add shortcodes to the menu, but yeah, that's not the best part of this plugin. So for the actual client I use this on, I custom coded a menu and had some additional code to set up a navigation item. So a bit of a downside there. If you're happy with the navigation tool on the side, that's all good, but it's missing, in my opinion, a decent navigation drop down menu item. So let's activate the Pro version and look at those additional options that are available to you. So with the Pro version active, I can add more than 2 currencies. I can tell bots what currency to use and switch currency with JS, JavaScript. I have auto select currency, which I didn't have previously. I can enable the cart on the checkout, and so the selector on the cart on the checkout. I can select certain currencies. I can select certain payment methods. So perhaps cash on delivery, not a good example. I'll only accept cash on delivery with GBP. So it can be a bit more specific on what payment providers use what currency. So perhaps I only want to use Stripe because I know that that works well, like that. Design, there's no really additional features. Price format and that kind of stuff. So yeah, like I say, $34, not a huge amount of money for a plugin that does a fair amount of work. So my overall review, it's a good little plugin, does exactly what it says on the tin. It's lightweight, it's good enough to do the job if you just want to swap between currencies and euro. But personally, I think you should go the extra step and go language and currency. So definitely you will improve your conversion rate by adding a euro or a dollar support. But if you're going into other countries, I would say go the extra mile. Look at a tool like WPML, which has multi-language, multi-currency WooCommerce support. But for the price, it is really good, does the job, and comes with my recommendation.